Hi everyone, this is Debbie at Trek Bicycles St. Petersburg, here for ABC Bicycles and Trek St. Pete. We had a special request and we don't get a lot of them, so we're really happy to get some feedback from our customers that they wanted to learn the proper way to shift a bicycle. So we're going to cover that today. We're going to cover the basics first, though, just so everybody knows what's going on. There are two shifters on most bikes that have shifters. There are two, not all. The one on the right hand controls the rear derailleur of the bike, which is on the rear wheel. The shifter to the left hand controls the derailleur that is by the pedals. And so that controls the front portion of the bike. The left hand is going to control really large changes in how all of the rear gears feel. And then the right hand, again, is just going to be minute changes. So that's where you have the most of your gears, and you can make little finite changes to the way the bike feels when you're pedaling it. And one of the reasons that we like a bike that shifts is because it allows us to have a certain cadence, or where we feel that the pedal stroke is comfortable but not too hard to pedal. I call it my happy pace. So I have a typical rotations per minute that I kind of keep, and it's very comfortable pace for me. But it doesn't matter if I'm going 5 miles an hour at that rotation or if I'm going 20 miles an hour. That's just the rotation that my legs are very comfortable in going around. So first thing about shifting you want to know is that you have to do it while you're pedaling. You don't want to try and shift a bike when you're not pedaling, or you're going to get a lot of clunky noises. So as right now, I am currently in the center ring on the front, which is a very good gear for around here. It's relatively flat. And then on the back, because I was at a stop starting, I was in a lower gear so that it's a little easier to get started from the stop. And then as I get comfortable riding, I will then change gears to make it a little more resistant. But I still keep my legs rotating at the same pace. And that's what's going to keep you comfortable. So the numbers are typically, 1 is going to be your easiest gear on either shifter, and the higher the number, the harder it is for you to pedal. That is also the faster gears though. So if you want to go really fast, then the harder numbers are where you're going to end up. But I'd still recommend that you kind of, when you come to a stop, like if I'm going to come to a stop, I'm going to downshift a few so that when I stop and get started again, it's nice and easy. And then I can get back up to my harder gear and rotate that. You don't want to try and shift both sides of the bike at the same time. If you see a hill ahead, I would recommend maybe getting to a couple of harder gears on the right-hand side before I drop it to a lower gear on the front. Or you'll find that, and I'm going to do this here, we're going to get into an easier gear here. And then I'm going to drop it to the little one, and now I'm spinning too fast, I have no control. So I lost all my momentum. So that will just make it a little easier. We're going to use a little diagram to show you where you don't want to be with relation to your gears. So we're going to go walk over to, we got a little poster set up for you. So hold on, be right there. There's a few places on the range that you don't want to be, and it's called cross chaining. So you don't want to cross chain, and what that means is when I am in this easiest gear here, I don't necessarily want to be in this hardest gear here, because now where my derailleur would be holding this like that, you can see the angle of that line is going to rub that side of the derailleur. The same thing is going to happen this way, because when my derailleur's here like that, you can see it going off at an angle. So again, you're going to get rubbing on that derailleur on the front that controls this here as far as that chain line goes. Where you want to be is here. So any of these coming across are going to be really good. And this to here is fine, and this to here is fine, because it's still going to be nice and straight. And as far as the front gears go, again, I kind of talked about it. Easy is your first gear inside, the smallest one. Hard is 3. And Scott calls this one Florida because it's pretty flat. And it lets you have a nice gear range that you can control all these gears with the middle one usually. But you lose a gear on either end of these two due to cross chaining. So you just want to be careful about that. If you hear chattering noise, that's usually what it is causing. On the back of the wheel, the gears start off with number 1 is the largest gear, and 7 or 8 or 9 or whatever it may be is going to be your hardest gear. And those are going to be your fastest gears for any of these. This is going to be your fastest overall, would be the hard and the hard. And I'm not sure what other questions we might have on this, but if you have them, please put them in the post below. We'll try and answer everything that you've got. This was kind of different because, again, it was a request from someone to see how do you shift properly. And I hope we covered some of those things. But if there's any questions, please do put them in the comments below and we'll get back to you. Thank you.